The name Green River serial killer might be new to you, but at one time, this name struck terror in the hearts of Americans. Taking the lives of young women was his obsession. His lust was so extreme that he would sleep beside the corpses of his victims. He was so monstrous that he eventually lost track of how many he had killed. So, who was the Green River serial killer really? Why was he given this name? How did he manage to evade the police for years? How was he eventually caught? And why did he become a serial killer? Let's find out everything in a detailed, step-by-step manner. After hearing the full story, you'll be shocked. The story starts in 1982. On July 15th, 1982, a body was spotted floating in the Green River, which flows through Seattle, USA. The police were immediately informed. Upon investigation, the body was identified as that of 16-year-old Wendy Lee Caulfield. The autopsy revealed that she had been brutally assaulted before being murdered. While the police were still searching for the killer, a month later, on August 15th, 1982, 3 more bodies were discovered in the same river. The victims were aged 17, 23, and 31. Autopsies showed that they were murdered in the same brutal way, raped, strangled, and their necks broken. Between October 8th and November 7th, 1982, 3 more female bodies were found near the same river. The news caused an uproar across the state. The police launched an intense investigation, but could not find any solid leads. Although dozens of suspects were interrogated, no one was found guilty. Among the suspects was Gary Ridgway, who became a suspect after a murdered girl's family claimed they had last seen her getting into a truck that was later found parked outside Ridgway's house. However, when samples from all suspects were compared with semen samples from the victims, there were no matches due to the limitations of forensic technology at the time. All suspects, including Ridgway, were released. What no one knew then was that the real killer had just slipped through their fingers. So who was Gary Ridgway? Gary Ridgway was born on February 18, 1949, in Utah. His father was a bus driver. Ridgway graduated in 1969 and married his high school girlfriend. Soon after, he joined the U.S. Navy and was sent to fight in the Vietnam War. While in Vietnam, he engaged in inappropriate behavior and mistreated his wife, leading to a divorce within a year. He remarried in 1973, but that marriage also fell apart in 1981 due to his abusive behavior and continued visits to sex workers. After this second divorce, Ridgway entered the world of crime. His first murder occurred on July 15, 1982. More bodies continued to surface, mostly around the Green River area. Despite being detained briefly in 1982, no charges stuck due to the lack of advanced DNA technology. Most of the victims were sex workers or runaways. The police began monitoring sex workers, and during one incident, they saw Ridgway violently attacking a woman. He was arrested, underwent a polygraph test, and again managed to deceive the police and was released. As more bodies were found in or near the Green River, the media began calling the unknown murderer the Green River Killer. Ridgway continued his double life, working as a painter at a truck factory by day and killing by night. Between 1982 and 1990, Ridgway murdered more than 15 women. He began dating Judith Mawson in 1985, marrying her in 1988, yet continued his killing spree. Eventually, the government formed a Green River task force dedicated solely to catching him, but they had little success. In 1987, police once again collected samples of Ridgway's hair and saliva. With no results from testing, he was once again let go. By 2001, the total number of victims had exceeded 50. However, DNA profiling technology had significantly improved. When the 1987 samples were reanalyzed, a breakthrough was made. Ridgway's DNA matched the semen found on 3 of the 1982 victims. Additionally, paint particles found on a victim's clothing matched the paint used in Ridgway's factory. Now, with concrete evidence, police arrested Ridgway on November 30th, 2001, as he was leaving his factory job. Initially, Ridgway denied all charges, but later, he made a deal. He would confess everything if the state guaranteed he wouldn't receive the death penalty. Authorities agreed, and Ridgway confessed to killing between 70 to 91 women, although media reports estimate the number to be between 100 and 150. He admitted that most murders took place after sex, but sometimes he raped the victims after killing them. When he couldn't find new victims, he would return to previously buried bodies and engage in necrophilic acts. Ridgway said he derived satisfaction from killing sex workers, as it felt like he was punishing his abusive mother. He saw each victim as a stand-in for his mother, from whom he had deep-seated resentment. Based on his confession, police confirmed 48 victims, leading to 48 murder charges. Later, a 49th victim was also confirmed. Gary Ridgway was sentenced to 48 life terms without parole, totaling 480 years in prison. 10 years were added for tampering with evidence. The court ruled that he would never be eligible for parole. Although he escaped the death penalty, his sentence is considered worse than death. Ridgway is kept in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day, with no sunlight and very limited human contact. In 2002, his third wife divorced him. To understand how an ordinary man became such a monstrous serial killer, we must look at Ridgway's childhood. Born into a troubled household, Ridgway's father would often bring sex workers home, causing constant fights with his mother. Ridgway was also a chronic bedwetter until age 12 and was severely punished by his mother, who would bathe him in cold water. This created intense hatred toward both his mother and sex workers. According to Ridgway, each murder gave him the feeling of taking revenge on his mother, which brought him twisted satisfaction. Because of these crimes and his horrific confessions, Gary Ridgway is now considered America's second most prolific serial killer. Several films have been made based on his life. So, this was today's true crime case. Do you think justice was really served in this case? Or is the story still unfinished? Don't forget to share your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next crime story. Till then, stay safe and stay curious. Thanks for watching.